the fact that APC is ruling now, one of their core major duty is to kill the standing oppositional party, PDP. We've said that here, we've analyzed it here, that the only way they can get stronger is to kill the PDP they met on board.
Good morning to you and welcome to the
Good to be here again.
I mean, it's such a good time to talk about Nigeria. Perhaps we should start with the sharing formula between the federal government. So let's get into that story, particularly on the Nation newspaper. The big caption says, federal government to share costs with states and councils. That's exactly the story and the conversation right there. Something very important, of course, also on that, you see electricity subsidy payment as well. Let's take a few stories before we get into the analysis proper. On the Nation newspaper, Wike camp fixes PDP convention for March 28. What's happening? We'll get into all of those conversations today. Uzodinma Buni Akonde, 70 others in the APC convention panel. That's also another story circulating across the nation. Malami lists income sources to prevent asset forfeiture. And there's any boards for 140,000 euros furniture in one day. That's another shocking. What do you want to do with 140 pounds, 140,000 pounds furniture in one day? What do you want to do with all of those? But yeah, maybe she has a point to make. But of course, we see all of this. Now, FAC is saying federal government, states, and local government authorities are sharing 1.96 trillion naira in December. Of course, they shared that. That's exactly how it increased. Of course, VAT increased by about 350 billion naira. That's another thing to talk about, talking business, commerce, and economics today. And of course, history impact as Governor Buni inaugurates world-class scientific research training center in Yobe. Fetis Yobe Teen Eagle competition winners. That's also the big caption right there on the Nation newspaper. The Punch newspaper is another print I would like to bring to the fore this morning. And on the front page of the Punch newspaper, it says big money, small impact. Governors face fire over 9 trillion naira FAC allocation. Of course, windfall. That's federal allocation windfall. That's exactly about that story. But this is the way Punch has taken the story, that big money and small impact. Is that true? We'll get to see with Afolabi shortly. Now, federal government moves to share electricity subsidy costs with states as well. That's the face of Adebayo Adelabu on the top corner of the Punch newspaper. Something to also, spice our conversation, maybe spike the interest of many Nigerians. Of course, we need power. Anyway, APC unveils 73-member National Convention Committee. Also something to look out for. Meanwhile, PDP crisis still goes on. Wike Bloc plans convention after court victory. That's exactly another one. We'll see many of this, and we'll also check out what becomes of all. Electoral Act Senate resumes debate today after backlash. So now let's get into the proper conversation with Afolabi this morning. Now, federal government allocation, some have said is big money and small impact. What do you make of this? I want to get your comprehensive thoughts on what you make of this allocation, 1.96 trillion naira shared in December.
I love that headline with Punch, and that's exactly what is going on. You look at many of the states with so much gigantic allocations, but small impacts. Small impact when you look at their local government. Small impact when you look at the faces of the people. Small impact when you look at what has exactly been put up to the benefit of the people. But you see those monies going down to the pocket of the politicians. They put up some relevant projects that may not be completed within 7-8 years. And some of them put up some window dressing to let you look as if everything is fine. Look at this, the state capital is looking beautiful, but the entire rural area is looking shambles. I don't see why some states will be putting up a cargo airline, an airline where they don't have any infrastructure for it. We have seen that example in Ekiti, where the roads are nowhere to be found. Just how many local governments? 16. And you cannot count you cannot even give credit to 10 local governments that you can say, okay, this road are fine. And the state government is looking about an airline and a cargo. Even before you get to the airline, there's nothing to go about. And you talk about some areas where the health facility is down. Right now in Oyo, I'm only praying that the Lord will save us. Now that UCH is on strike, have you been to our local other hospitals? They are jam-packed. My brother, the best of the best is how you are looking at now. If you fall sick, your next prayer is to God to save you.
So, Mr. Flabe, sorry, if I may, let's put this into the context now. Can we say the Federal Allocation Committee is wrong to have disbursed more money into states and local government, or who should we now put the blame on?
The blame is on the government, on the governors. Those who are getting the money are not implementing it. Of course, their duty is to disburse money. Will you ask them to withhold it? The one that was withheld in Osun State, the local government in Osun State, don't you see the way the governor is coming up every day and night to tell you that because of the money that they've withheld, he will not be able to do this. He's not able. If you release that money, will he do it?
But sorry, let me take it from this angle too. For I remember when we did projects way back in school, the university, they taught us that for every project you do, there's something that should be at the end of it, M&E, that's monitoring and evaluation. So if you allocate money, so for example, if I give you money, I'm expecting you to fix my furniture, for example, and you fix it, I'm going to check my furniture.
Sure.
Even after some weeks, I'll still check it again.
Sure.
After some months, I'll check it again.
Sure.
So as to know if you've done the right job. So
if
what about
value for money?
Exactly. So what about the federal government monitoring and evaluation committee sitting on these
when they are on the same party? When the man coming will be lodged in one big hotel. When as soon as he comes down, they want to take him around the states. And before he could want to say Jack Robinson, some people already crediting his account to say you have seen it all. And you just get the book and sign. The one in Ekiti, done. The one in Ogun, done. The one in Oyo, done. Even in the rural area in Oyo, everything perfect. We heard of some projects here that have been paid for, but we are not done. Look at the roads. Between this place, Ibadan, to Abeokuta Road, look at that road. Ibadan, Abeokuta Road. It has been like that. How many years has it take them to fix the Ogbomoso-Ilorin road? The federal road in Ogbomoso, you know how many years? That road has been allocated ever since I know 1999. Until date, they are still doing it. And we know we've missed count in the number of deaths that have recorded on that road. Just imagine. And nobody bothered because we're talking about money. We're talking about people's leaders not being cognizant of their followers. So that is it. It is big allocation, small impact. Look, go to someone. Why are we having people trooping into this capital? Because nothing is happening in the rural areas. If there are projects there, if there are development there, if there are industry there, they want to stay back. In fact, when I was in school, I passed through the project in Ibadan. I was at a rural with my ND, and if that place has been very well put in place, you have industry there. In our own days there, nobody will want to come down. Even you will not want to come to the capital because of the noise, But that place, you see companies that you can feed yourself with. You see industry that you can train yourself. If there are recycling industry, there are building, there are construction industry, there are production industries. They are getting paid very well, and the roads are fine. Farming products will be done very well. People will want to go to farming. People want to go to agri-light and then get it down to the capital and then get. But this is not Ibadan to a rural road is yet to be fixed, and the governor time is just rounding up very shortly. How do you go about that?
I mean, there's so much to talk about.
My brother,
but let's move on to politics briefly. There seems to be, after that court proceedings, that that convention in Ibadan was nullified. There seems to be a move again from Wike camp saying that we have fixed March 28th for the PDP convention. So let's look at the projection of things. What do you think is going to happen? Tanimu Turaki, the faction of Tanimu Turaki, the faction of the governor for your state, are also on the one hand, and Wike's faction also on the other hand. What do you make of this convention? Do you think some people from Tanimu Turaki are going to defect now properly into the proper structure according to the courts?
The fact that APC is ruling now, one of their core major duty is to kill the standing oppositional party, PDP. We've said that here, we've analyzed it here, that the only way they can get stronger is to kill the PDP they met on board, so that some of their members will find their own umbrella or their broom an alternative and stronger for them to work with. And that is what they are doing. The Wike's camp will continue to be funded. If Wike is not getting funded for what he's doing, he will have collapsed now. Somebody is behind it. Somebody is behind Wike. Somebody is paying the bills. If not, he will not be the minister and still want to be the #1 citizen in his own state as the APC person and still want to be the controlling general in the PDP.
But who do you think is bankrolling Wike?
Who is bankrolling Wike? Do we need to go and search Google for that? The presidency.
The presidency is involved in the affairs of the PDP.
That is not new to us. It's politics. At the end of the day, you will see them again attending programs together, events like weddings. They will be there. The last time we had during our Thanksgiving period in Oyo State 50th anniversary, Obi was here.
Okay, but let's talk about this. So even if you have alleged that, oh yeah, Wike is doing anti-party activities and all that, but Wike is now saying let's have a convention. Is that not a way forward for the PDP?
For which PDP? The one that is in, or the one that is working to kill? Wike is just like a PDAPC. We know that, and then that is what he's doing. He continues putting up that kind of confusion so that the party will not have stability, and that is why you are seeing many people that, like the governor of Osun State, easily decamping to accord for his own political ambition. If he has waited on PDP, the court judgment that just came out now will nullify him from contesting. Already he will be out of the game. So that was why we said that time that Adeleke has taken the best decision and he has found a best place to go. So, but for Wike, if he has not been bankrolled by somebody more powerful than many people in the party that is already causing confusion he will have stepped back or get dead by now. So he's getting more fund. The last time he announced caretaker committee in all the states, including Oyo State. And some people were saying that they want to see those caretaker committee at the secretariat. The secretariat has been commissioned, is going to be commissioned. It's not yesterday or today. So we are waiting for the show. It's just that it's a pity that we are doing this, and people find it very difficult to harness with their party ideology and work towards it. It is not bad that you have an opposition. It is also not bad that you see us. If you lose a party, you lose in your own party. It will be good that you stay back. Look at the United States of America when the Republican failed, to win the election. They remained, and the Democrat came on board. We saw them. We hardly see all this shifting on ground. We just, this decamping, this cross carpeting that we call it here in Nigeria is so bad that it cannot be taught in the Nigerian institution for anybody studying politics, political science, or any other courses that relate to how to get to lead the people in the democratic setting. This is not the best way.
All right, let's talk about the federal government, especially the power sector as well. That's very important to everybody. We've been talking about this. An average economy, an average industry depend on that for sustenance. So even small, medium enterprises, large-scale enterprises, everybody requires power. So now this is the case. Federal government is moving to share electricity subsidy and the cost of electricity subsidy with states. That seems like some have said, oh, well, this should have been the case. Others have said, oh, yes, I think the development should have been that states should generate their power. They should get that autonomy. Of course, they do have it, but they should now start implementing those autonomy to ensure that they generate power. But this is what Adelabo is saying, that, yeah, we want to share the subsidy costs with every state. Some states are still struggling to pay 70,000. Some states are still struggling with personal and some of their internal crises and all that. But it seems like the way to go for them. States like, for example, Niger State has the largest landmass in the country, Nigeria. So maybe they are going to pay more if you have to consider how much would. But let's see as it goes. But what do you make of all of this?
Well, it's good that the man saying it is also coming up to contest for the governor of the state. It's good as he's saying all this, as it's going to be a record. But the truth of the matter is that sharing this will have been good if it's going to be implemented down the line. Just don't forget our president announced some time ago about local government autonomy, and it's about 2 years now. Nothing has been done. We are waiting. If they take over this responsibility, it may reduce. Please underline. It may reduce the burden on an ordinary person, ordinary Nigerians. We expect that by now, Nigeria at 66 should have been at a point where the rural areas, every place will be powered. There won't be an option for anybody looking for extra things. Depending on the capital city to come and generate power also. And then we've also support the idea of state generating their own power in order to reduce the burden over the federal generation. As that, we also help the state to grow further. Now we have alternative for power supply. Solar is there. Let's state who are very close to the sun, who can generate more from wind, who can generate more from water. Do that in order to reduce these powers. We don't have, there is no excuse for us. For us to be suffering from power supply, there is no excuse whatsoever. But we are doing this because of the political willpower that we don't have. You know, if you have gotten that willingness to do all this, it will have reduced our burden by now. When you listen to the Minister of Power, you listen to what he's saying, you shake your head and ask yourself, is this man reading out a script, or is he saying it out of ideology, out of people's his committee, you know, agreement to say, okay, let's just face the press, let's say something that will interest the world, let's throw down another bomb, let people go and be rolling about it. That is just my own concern. That's the way I see it. But if it has been a way to put things together, this is 2026. Next year is the election. 2026 is telling us that this year we'll be going through a lot of political jamborees here and there. And you want to be telling me at this time that you want to share the burden of this particular power burden on states that are yet to pay salaries, that are struggling, even when we know that they put more concern in their own pocket than the citizen. Imagine a state declaring lesser for health, more for their legislative house. You can understand how this thing works. So if you put that burden on such a state now, you want that state to be able to pay on time? I don't get it. But the independence of every state generating their own power to cater for their citizens, it's better. And the people getting to see the benefit, because it's not just saying it, it's not just talking about it, it's about doing it. And that is where we find our problem.
Mr. Falabi, let's see it also from this angle. Yes, maybe it would say, and he has said countless times, that the federal government is finding it difficult to manage all of the intricacies in the sector, right? And some have said, let's give the benefit of the doubt to say, how about we share it across board so that everybody... So I think there's also an ideology that whatever you are called to also become a part of, you are more interested in it, you are committed to that, and then you do a lot of things to ensure that thing works.
Hopefully.
Maybe that's why the electricity power or power sectors generally is not working. Maybe if every state now has a stake in it to say, we are paying this amount of money, one, there will be accountability to say, we are questioning
proper
how much we paid for this, and you are not doing what you do. Maybe that's the angle that the power minister is coming from.
Well, if that is the angle, it should be good. My own is, okay, let's take, for example, the rural people in your state has been out of power for a long year, for many years. When I was studying there was no power at all.
In certain parts, or
no, the entire rural Lalate, no light, no power. After I've left, they get some power. You know, they said some people came to, take away cut away their supply from the board, from where it was connected to that local government. And I expect that by now they should have gotten stable power supply, even when we have our speaker from that place. Even if they have to get stable power supply, the road determines, because somebody must be monitoring, ambush, because those light passes through the bush, and it's also called that they are being open so that you know who is climbing. But I ask myself many times that another man will not climb the power grid or the pole without knowing about it. It's just like somebody like me accusing me of cutting the wire, where I was never an electrician. I don't have the tools, and that is just it. But by and large, if you want to put the state into it, to say they should be part and parcel of it, it is the weak power that will determine all this. The political weak power, the ability to be able to do what is right. But as you see right now, every one of them is focusing on 2027. That is my fear. If at the time the president come on board, he pronounced this, he asked us that he put this forward, that this is part of what we are going to do to have a stable power supply in Nigeria. State will be included. While state is included, the local government will also be included, because you cannot talk about state without talking about the local government. And as that is done, then we can talk about everybody is involved. When we distribute the power, they will check it up. When the cost is this, we will all share it so that we can reduce the burden on ordinary citizens. Every person needs power. Even the woman, the old mom at home need power. Every grandman now has a phone and want to communicate to his or her daughter wherever they are. So you telling me that some people don't deserve it or don't really need it is out of understanding of what power supply really means to people. It's not just to give us light. It goes beyond that. It helps our businesses. It is life.
Mr. Falabi, let's get on another issue that is of interest. I'll be running for president in 2027. I didn't say that anyway.
Okay.
It was Peter Obi that said
I want to clap my hand for you because actually every person is entitled to.
Of course, constitutionally, right? So Peter Obi came out to say he's not voicing anybody, if so to say, that he wants to become president. Do you think this is a crave or a craving for power beyond the craving for leadership?
My brother, I don't see that because he was here at the Thanksgiving ceremony for Oyo at 50. And he put on the Oyo Ankara, and everybody was asking, is Sheyi now going for ADC? But the truth of the matter is that, like I said to you now, everybody is entitled to it. If he has declared by now that he will be contesting, no problem. But the truth of the matter is, what are the policies you are bringing on board? What are the change that you want to make? What are the things that you want to correct? How do we feel your present if you become the president?
I get the point. Sorry to cut you 1 second. I get the point of, having policies and all of these things that you've said. But what's bad in becoming a vice president?
What's bad? We in Nigeria, in the case of Nigeria, you become a vice president, you are just like a reserve, a spare tire. That's how they make them. We see the likes of Ochibajo. Before Ochibajo came on board, a lot was said about when he come on board, he will do this, he will do that. We saw the likes of Shetima. Have you heard about Shetima of recent?
But they've been representing the president in different places.
As representative and reporting
giving policies
and reporting to the presidency.
But they have their function as well.
My brother, it doesn't. You see, we also can gather the experience of deputy state governors, where we have many of them not been able to implement their own personal policies, what they intend to put on board. This man will submit his idea to the president. This man will be checked by the president and his presidency's kind of aides. Like I will say, God is not ready to attend to you right now. He's busy, he's memorizing, he's this and that. But if he has to be his person, he will be able to put what he has been planning for years down, collecting what he has wanted to do per state, per local government, per ministry, per agencies, and then implement it. An example of the United States of America, see what Donald Trump is doing, see how he's been coming up on every time to talk, and this man, such that he also handle his own social, he's also in charge of his social handles, and he posts at will, he posts at time, and these are what makes many people to feel very, very reluctant to come up and say, I want to be the vice president. I want to say, if it is to Obi, I will not support him coming back as a vice president, but as a president, yes, I personally will not support him to be a vice president. At this age, let us also have a change of things. Policies is our problem, and implementation. We don't have problem with that our weather. We have God has so blessed Nigeria that what you get here, you don't get it anywhere else. But we have a very bad kind of leadership that throws us left, right, and center without direction.
Okay, in 30 seconds, let's quickly travel to Onitsha. This case of Soludo, the traders, sit-at-home order, there's been that conversation back and forth. But it seems like a good one for Soludo, as the shops in the Onitsha market, as traders shun sit-at-home. Some have said we are shunning, others are saying, no, we'll still continue to speak for Nnamdi Kanu. So speak on this in 30 seconds.
I want to beg the people who are supporting sit-at-home to please have a rethink. A lot has been damaged for that sit-at-home. The sit-at-home has killed businesses, and is also grounding the social activities of that state. You want to travel to Onitsha, you think of, Monday they don't go to the market. And it's costing them a lot. They are losing a lot. I think it is high time somebody stop this kind of move. Stop. You are taking order from somebody that is in prison, or you are taking order from somebody that is not your leader. The governor is talking about, let's go forward. Please, I want to beg. Our mindset is one of our problems. Until we are able to change our mindset, we may not be able to make a change at all for our country. A
very big thank you to you, Afolabi Afalami, for joining us this morning.
I'm happy to be here all the time.
And of course, we now switch focus to power play with Samson Balogun. Of course, what do we have to say? But there's more to talk about the presidential bid of, Peter Obi, and that is to come after this break. Join us again.